Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that Kendrick Lamar's legendary South American tour, a celebration of artistry, culture, and global unity, has just turned into the most catastrophic collapse in modern hip-hop history? From ecstasy in Buenos Aires, where fans cried tears of joy and critics hailed it as the performance of a lifetime, to chaos in Bogotá, where whispers of betrayal, backstage meltdowns, and devastating revelations are now threatening not just Kendrick's reputation, but the very survival of his tour. Tonight, we unravel a story so explosive, so shocking, that even Kendrick's most loyal fans are asking, has the king of conscious rap finally lost control of his own empire? This isn't just about music. This isn't just about fame. This is about broken trust, shattered friendships, and a scandal that insiders claim may never be forgiven. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll see why Kendrick's South American run may go down in history as both his greatest triumph and his most heartbreaking downfall. And trust me, what happened in Bogotá will leave you speechless. Kendrick Lamar, a name that has stood for integrity, lyrical genius, and cultural power for over a decade. But every empire, no matter how powerful, hides its cracks. To understand how this tour spiraled into chaos, we need to rewind. It all started with the announcement of his Latin American Glory Tour, a string of concerts meant to showcase Kendrick, not just as a rapper, but as a global icon. Fans across Argentina, Chile, Brazil, and Colombia camped outside ticket booths. Promoters bragged about record-breaking sales. The hype was unlike anything we've seen since Michael Jackson touched the same soil decades ago. But behind the scenes, insiders claim Kendrick's team was already divided. Some said the schedule was too grueling. Others whispered about tensions between Kendrick and his longtime collaborators, who felt pushed aside as new creative directors took control. The Buenos Aires show was the crown jewel, a flawless performance. Reports of 60,000 fans chanting every word. Social media exploded with videos of Kendrick breaking down in tears, thanking the crowd, calling it the most spiritual show of my life. But then, something shifted. By the time the tour reached Bogotá, whispers turned into screams. Fans noticed the setlist had changed, entire songs removed without explanation. The stage crew looked exhausted, uncoordinated. And most disturbingly, a viral backstage leak showed Kendrick in a heated confrontation with someone shockingly close to him. Who was it? What was said? Why did everything collapse so fast? That's where the story takes a dark turn. Because what was meant to be Kendrick's glorious celebration of unity turned into a battlefield of betrayal and the truth. Oh, the truth is more devastating than anyone expected. The descent began quietly, and then it exploded like a bomb. After the euphoric success in Buenos Aires, the crew boarded flights to Colombia. Bogotá was supposed to be another triumphant stop, a city buzzing with anticipation. Fans already flooding hotels, chanting Kendrick's lyrics outside the airport. But according to a so-called leaked insider itinerary, tension was already boiling before the plane even touched down. The first crack: money. Reports claim that members of Kendrick's own production staff accused management of withholding bonuses promised after the Buenos Aires show shattered sales expectations. Allegedly, crew members threatened to walk unless payments were settled. But here's where it gets darker. A mysterious audio clip, circulating on Twitter just hours before the Bogotá show, appeared to capture Kendrick yelling, "If they can't respect the vision, then get them out. I don't need disloyal people on my stage." Fans were stunned. Kendrick, known for calm composure, suddenly sounded furious, unrecognizable. And then came the backstage explosion. Multiple fan-recorded clips revealed chaos at the Bogotá venue. Equipment missing, sound checks delayed, Kendrick pacing in frustration while his entourage shouted at staff. But the most shocking footage: A blurred but unmistakable scene of Kendrick confronting his childhood friend and longtime DJ Midas. For over a decade, DJ Midas had been Kendrick's right-hand man, the architect of his live shows. They were inseparable. But on this night, cameras caught Kendrick pointing aggressively, shouting words that fans attempted to lip-read. Some claimed he yelled, "You betrayed me, you sold me out," within minutes. Hashtags like hashtag Kendrick Breakdown and hashtag Midas Betrayal began trending worldwide. But what could have caused this fracture of brotherhood? That's when the first twist dropped, and it was worse than anyone imagined. The betrayal rumor, anonymous Reddit post, supposedly from a crew member, accused DJ Midas of leaking Kendrick's unreleased track list to a rival artist's management. The post alleged that songs intended for a surprise Bogotá debut somehow ended up in the hands of another rapper who was planning to release similar material. Could it be true? Fans dissected the story, comparing beats, searching for proof. Within hours, Twitter detectives confirmed that a Colombian producer had posted cryptic messages hinting at receiving inspiration from unreleased West Coast heat. If real, this wasn't just betrayal. It was career sabotage, the emotional fallout, Nieces. Inside the Bogotá arena claimed Kendrick was visibly shaken during soundcheck. One fan wrote, he wasn't himself. He looked broken, angry, like every lyric weighed 10 times heavier. And then, the performance itself. Instead of the electrifying energy of Buenos Aires, Kendrick delivered a haunting, stripped-down show. He cut fan favorites, replaced anthems with darker, slower tracks, and at one point allegedly stared into the crowd for a full minute without speaking. Social media reactions poured in. At Lamar Loyalist, "This isn't the Kendrick I know. Something is wrong. This feels like watching a man unravel live." At Hip Hop Radar, "Historic night in Bogotá, not for the music, but for the implosion." You could feel the pain radiating off that stage. At Truth Seeker app, "Forget the music. Who betrayed Kendrick?" That's the real story here. But the nightmare didn't end on stage. After the show, chaos consumed the backstage area. Leaked WhatsApp screenshots, allegedly from Kendrick's inner circle, showed a panicked flurry of messages. "Get Midas out of here now. He crossed the line. This is war." Kendrick says the tour is done if he's not gone. Imagine it. A friendship spanning decades shattered in a single night. But just when fans thought they understood the betrayal, another shocking twist emerged. Multiple sources claimed that DJ Midas wasn't just accused of leaking songs. He was also allegedly in talks with Kendrick's rival label, negotiating to become their official touring DJ. If true, this wasn't a simple betrayal. This was defection. Abandoning Kendrick's empire to join forces with his enemies. And in that revelation, fans realized this wasn't just about one show falling apart. This was about Kendrick's entire tour, his trust, his inner circle collapsing from within. And the worst part, the story didn't end there. Because what came next would drag Kendrick's name into global headlines and ignite a backlash that not even his most loyal supporters saw coming. If betrayal by a brother was the first spark, what happened next was the full inferno. Because after Bogotá, the drama didn't just stay backstage. It went global. The morning after the Bogotá concert, the internet was on fire. Clips of Kendrick pacing angrily. Audio of him allegedly yelling at DJ Midas. Fans crying in the audience as Kendrick delivered what looked less like a concert and more like a funeral for trust. And then came the viral leak. That shattered everything. An anonymous Twitter account dropped a 6-minute voice memo, allegedly recorded in Kendrick's dressing room. The audio was muffled but chilling. You could hear Kendrick's voice shaking with rage. You were supposed to ride with me for life. Instead, you chose greed. You chose them. The clip went viral instantly. Millions of views in hours. Fans divided between shock and disbelief. Was this real? Was it fake? Was Kendrick truly falling apart before the world's eyes? But then, the second twist detonated. Insider blogs and so-called industry reporters began linking the betrayal to one name: J. Cole's camp, according to whispers. DJ Midas had been secretly meeting with Cole's management while still touring with Kendrick. The theory? He was feeding them intel song concepts, unreleased set lists, even stage design ideas. A hip-hop gossip page posted, "This wasn't just betrayal. This was corporate espionage." Kendrick's crown was being stolen piece by piece. Suddenly, this wasn't about one friendship breaking down. This was about a rap war in the making within hours. Fake but convincing screenshots of celebrity tweets began spreading: at Rihanna, official fake. Praying for Kendrick right now. Fame will test your soul. At Drake fake. The throne is never safe. Watch who's in your circle. At Saw fake. Heartbroken. No one deserves betrayal like this. Fans couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. But the confusion only fueled the hysteria. Hashtag Kendrick vs. Cole began trending. Entire Twitter threads analyzed body language from past award shows, suggesting Kendrick and Cole had been rivals all along. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. This wasn't just Kendrick versus Midas. It was Kendrick versus the entire rap industry. The Bogotá fallout back in Colombia? Chaos spread beyond social media. Local news outlets reported that angry fans were demanding refunds, furious that Kendrick cut songs from the set list. Promoters panicked. Rumors swirled that the next shows might be canceled. And then, another leak. A confidential tour document, supposedly emailed by Kendrick's management, surfaced online. The document listed emergency contingency plans, including replacing DJ Midas immediately, cutting remaining South American dates, issuing a public statement of creative exhaustion. The fact that this internal document leaked only deepened the sense of collapse. Fans asked, how many snakes are inside Kendrick's camp? Music insiders piled on. A notorious radio host declared, "This is the beginning of the end." Kendrick isn't just fighting betrayal, he's fighting a PR disaster that could cripple his legacy. Blogs speculated that brands were reconsidering endorsements. Some even claimed festival organizers were debating whether to pull Kendrick from headlining slots if the Meltdown continued. Every headline screamed scandal. And then came the most shocking revelation yet. A journalist dropped what they claimed was the smoking gun. A leaked contract between DJ Midas and a rival label, allegedly signed weeks before the tour. The terms: a $2 million payout in exchange for exclusive access to unreleased material and performance designs. If true, this wasn't just betrayal. This was treason, and it explained everything: the tension, the paranoia, the fury on stage. Kendrick hadn't just lost a friend, he'd been sold out for profit. And here's where it gets terrifying. Some fans believe Kendrick himself leaked the contract to expose Midas and warn the world. Others argue it's a fabrication, planted to destroy Kendrick's credibility further. But either way, one truth remains undeniable. The Bogotá show marked the night when Kendrick Lamar's world fell apart, live, in front of thousands. And if you think this was the end of the breakdown, think again. Because what happened next sent shockwaves not just through the music industry, but through Kendrick's most loyal fan base. The morning after Bogotá, the internet didn't just buzz, it erupted like a volcano. Fans woke up to timelines drowning in shaky footage, furious tweets, and conspiracy theories that multiplied by the second. The once unified admiration for Kendrick Lamar was now splintering into two extreme camps: those who swore to defend him until the end, and those who claimed they had just witnessed the beginning of his downfall. Crowds outside venues across South America began chanting, not just for Kendrick, but against betrayal. Some fans held signs that read, "Protect Kendrick at all costs," while others demanded refunds, calling the Bogotá performance a disgrace. For every heartbroken fan crying online, another was lashing out, accusing Kendrick of being too fragile for the crown. The debate was so vicious that hip-hop forums had to shut down comment sections, unable to control the wildfire of rage. And then came the celebrity reactions. Screenshots circulated of SZA allegedly unfollowing DJ Midas on Instagram, igniting rumors that the entire Top Dog Entertainment family was picking sides. One gossip page claimed Drake's team had privately reached out to Kendrick, offering support, though critics saw it as a move to exploit his weakness. Cardi B was rumored to have texted Kendrick's manager with a blunt message: "Tell him to fight back." The world eats weakness alive. Even the industry itself seemed shaken. A Colombian newspaper ran the headline, "The Fall of a King on Foreign Soil." International outlets compared Kendrick's meltdown to the public breakdowns of Britney Spears and Kanye West, framing Bogotá not as a concert mishap, but as a historic implosion. Music executives, hiding behind anonymity, allegedly told insiders they were reconsidering festival placements and holding back sponsorship negotiations until the dust settled. But the most haunting response came from the fans themselves on TikTok. Thousands of edits began circulating, split-screen videos comparing the radiant Kendrick of Buenos Aires, glowing with triumph, to the hollow-eyed Kendrick of Bogotá, barely holding it together. One viral edit was captioned simply, "From glory to heartbreak in 1 week." Millions watched, millions debated, and millions asked the same chilling question: has Kendrick Lamar finally been broken? And yet, the controversy refused to die. In fact, it grew darker. Because just when the world thought it had processed the betrayal, a fresh wave of rumors suggested that the Bogotá disaster wasn't the end of the story, but merely the opening act of a far more devastating collapse waiting to unfold. Silence stretched for days. Kendrick disappeared from the spotlight. No statements, no clarifications, no desperate tweets to calm the storm. And that silence drove fans insane. Some defended him, saying he was retreating to heal. Others insisted it was proof he was guilty, proof that the betrayal ran deeper than anyone could imagine. But then, out of nowhere, the final blow landed, and it was more devastating than anything seen so far. A Colombian radio station claimed to have obtained a private email exchange between Kendrick's tour management and venue executives. Buried in those leaked lines was a bombshell. Kendrick had allegedly demanded that DJ Midas be barred from all future venues, blacklisted across South America. But here's the twist. Insiders swore Midas fought back, threatening to release a hidden stash of unreleased Kendrick recordings if he was publicly shamed. Think about that. Not just betrayal, not just espionage, but blackmail. A man Kendrick once called a brother, now allegedly holding his art, his soul hostage. Fans went wild. Could this explain Kendrick's silence? Could this be the reason he looked so broken in Bogotá? Because the man he trusted most wasn't just gone. He had turned into a weapon aimed directly at him, and then, as if fate wanted to make the wound even deeper, a short, grainy clip appeared online. It showed Kendrick leaving a Bogotá hotel at 3 a.m., hood up, surrounded by bodyguards. But the sound captured in the chaos froze everyone's blood. A voice fans swore it was Kendrick's, whispering, "It's over. The tour is dead." The clip spread like wildfire. Thousands of comments flooded in within minutes. What does he mean, it's over? Did Kendrick just quit on us? Is this the end of his career? The heartbreak rippled across continents. South American fans who had waited years to see him live felt abandoned, betrayed themselves. US fans demanded answers. Blogs speculated that this was bigger than a tour collapse. This was Kendrick's very legacy crumbling in real time. But here's the darkest part. No one knows what's true anymore. Were the emails real or forged by rivals? Was the blackmail threat genuine or an exaggerated rumor? Did Kendrick really whisper that the tour was dead, or was it another manipulation in a frenzy of leaks? The truth remains buried in shadows. What we do know is this: Kendrick Lamar's South American tour began as a coronation and ended as a battlefield. A battlefield of betrayal, silence, and heartbreak. And as fans sit in the ashes of Bogotá, one terrifying question remains unanswered. Is this the end of the king, or the beginning of a war no one is prepared for? So now I have to ask you, what do you believe really happened on Kendrick Lamar's South American tour? Was this simply a case of exhaustion, stress, and rumors spiraling out of control? Or was it something darker? A betrayal so deep that even Kendrick himself may never recover. Was DJ Midas truly the snake in the grass, selling out his brother for millions? Or is Kendrick the one hiding secrets? Secrets too explosive to ever admit publicly. And most importantly, what happens next? Does Kendrick rise from these ashes stronger than ever? Or does this mark the beginning of the end of one of hip-hop's most legendary empires? I need you to light up the comments right now. Tell me, Are you Team Kendrick, standing by him no matter what? Or are you convinced the Bogotá breakdown proves the king has finally fallen? I want to hear your theories, your conspiracies, your raw reactions. And don't hold back, because this story is only getting darker. If you made it this far, smash that like button to show your support, because the next chapter in this saga is going to blow everything wide open. Subscribe and hit the notification bell, because when the next leak drops, and trust me, it will, you'll want to be here first to know exactly what's going down. This is more than a tour. This is more than music. This is betrayal, heartbreak, and survival at the highest level of fame. And the war for Kendrick Lamar's crown. It's only just beginning. Only just beginning.